Carly, I'm always a firm believer that the more options you have for phys ed in school, the better. So, I mean, if that hockey academy goes through, it's going to be good for some people.
Oh, it's going to be an incredible opportunity. We've got some really big names and local names too, with Lance Ward helping out. But I had the opportunity to study and play a sport at the same time in my post-secondary education. So, gosh, I sure wish I would have had the opportunity to do it earlier. And it looks like the Lloyd Public School Division is taking all the necessary steps to make sure that happens and it happens properly and that everyone is well informed as well.
Well, we'll definitely be interested to see how that actually turns out. And we have Whitney sitting in for Gerard today.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on, Whitney. And really, I mean, the same thing I said to Gerard yesterday. There's really not that much to say about the weather. It's beautiful.
No,
out,
it's a really easy day to be a weather girl. That's for sure. That's for sure. There's no systems. There's nothing. We've been sitting under blue skies for days, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. So that's really, really nice. Right now, we're sitting at 4 degrees. No wind chills at all, which is the first time I've done weather with no wind chills. I'm very excited about that. We're right in the normals for this time of year. Humidity sitting at 64%. The Lakeland region sitting under some clouds, though, and a high of 6 degrees, and the Battlefords, blue skies and 8 degrees there.
Maidstone RCMP are warning the public about a possible telemarketing scam. Police say people claiming to be from a magazine company have been calling businesses in town and asking if staff would like to buy an advertisement in the publication. According to the caller, the cost of the ad would be used to bridge the gap between the community and police. At this time, detachment staff are not aware of any publications that are soliciting on the RCMP's behalf. And also, they say if you are contacted, don't give any banking or financial information to the caller. The rural municipality of Wilton will soon be restarting its spring road ban. As of next Monday, all annual permits will be suspended. Officials say only wheeler permits will be available for purchase while the ban is in place. For more information, please contact the RM office. The city of Cold Lake is approaching the provincial government with questions over the level of ambulance service in the area. As Clayton Brown explains, Alberta Health Services took over the contracts, and that's causing some concerns.
2 years ago, Alberta Health Services made the province one health region, and in doing so, it started funding all ambulance service across the province.
Before the society was in a contract obligation with the MD of Bonnyville and the city of Cold Lake to service our area. And now Cold Lake Ambulance Society is contracted with Alberta Health Services. So those ambulances can go anywhere in the province.
The Cold Lake Ambulance Society has 2 full-time ambulances and 2 core flex time ambulances, which were all previously funded. Now, under the contract with the province, only 3 of the 4 are subsidized.
With the nature of the business, sometimes you're busy and you don't have enough ambulances, and sometimes you're very quiet. But generally speaking, with the number of call volumes we have in a year, we require 4 ambulances.
But that's not the big concern. Officials say ambulances can be asked to go to other towns if needed.
We average an ambulance a day going to City of Edmonton, and on the return journey back to Cold Lake, now with the new system, that ambulance can actually go to Vermilion or St. Paul or whatever on its way back.
The CoreFlex ambulances are in use 8 hours and on call for the rest of the day. That could result in a delay in response times.
If our full-time crew is out and we need a second car, after the core hours are completed, then they respond from home on call. So there potentially is a delay in response times.
City Council has written a letter to the MLA and to the Health Minister addressing the concerns. In Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
A denied merger proposal and strong fiscal numbers highlighted an eventful year for Synergy Credit Union members. Jack Haskins tells us of a huge development announced last night at their annual general meeting.
Regional members listened to presentations and participated in a Q&A session for the better part of Wednesday night.
The results of the organization were good for the year, and people are always glad to hear that. Lots of suggestions and ideas and questions on ways we could make things better, and that's what an annual meeting is all about as well. We hear from our members and try to respond, answer their questions, and learn from their suggestions.
A surprise was in store for those in attendance as Synergy officials announced plans to open up a new branch in the border city.
The announcement we're going to be making tonight is that we also have been working on for a while now the assembly of some land in the city of Lloydminster at a very prominent location just south of the Humpties and Petrocan service station, just off of Ray Nelson Drive.
Another hot topic was the failed merger attempt with the Connexus and Innovation Credit Unions. Even though the majority of Synergy members supported the movement, it wasn't enough to pass the merger.
60% of our members agreed with the proposal that we brought forward. So a majority don't get what they want because we didn't get a big enough majority. So it's a challenge for the board to figure out what direction do we go, because a majority said, yeah, you're going the right direction, but we can't go that way. So we have to find another way that'll serve the members better.
A major focus for Synergy this year will be the development of the new branch. However, a date has not been set for construction to begin. Jack Haskins, Newcap News.
The federal election just under a month away, campaigns are hitting full stride. Last night, Conservative candidate in the Westlock St. Paul constituency, Brian Storseth, officially opened his campaign. As Clayton Brown explains, although the election is unwanted by the Conservatives, Storseth feels confident the party will be leading the country after the vote.
It's the third federal election in the past 5 years, and campaigns are now starting to heat up. Brian Storseth is already in full force, and he feels the Conservatives have a strong focus.
But we're also campaigning on our vision for Canada. It's a Conservative vision of lower taxes. It's a vision of a tougher on crime, making sure that victims have rights in our society today, and it's a vision for families.
Storseth is looking to serve his third term as MP for the Westlock St. Paul constituency. He was first elected back in 2006, and he feels his experience is a major asset.
I think we've got a great record to run on. I think I've got a great record to run on, and I'm looking very forward to continuing my engagement with rural Albertans in Westlock St. Paul.
Storseth says if re-elected, he will continue to address local area issues.
I'm going to continue to work on doctor recruitment issues. I'm going to make sure that we continue to work on our temporary foreign worker issues that we have. I'm going to make sure that I continue to remain focused on agriculture, and we're going to continue to look after the values and the issues of rural Canadians.
He says there are also some new concerns local residents have recently voiced.
The long gun registry is something that I look forward to revisiting in Parliament, as well as a plethora of other issues that always come up and we'll be continuing to look at.
Brian Storseth will be holding public forums throughout the constituency later in the month. In St. Paul, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
After our first break, we'll see how the Vic Juba Community Theatre's decision to bring in a big name for this year's gala proved to be a huge hit with supporters. That and more coming up in 2 minutes.